Hello again, welcome back to Two Cracks TV. Thanks for joining me today. Samsung Galaxy Ring, is it any good? And is it actually useful? Let's find out. I've owned this for just over 8 months now. I picked it up from Currys. It was on offer at £320. The initial launch price was £400, which is quite a lot of money, isn't it? But basically just a little fitness tracker in a ring. And that's even putting aside the fact that it is cutting edge tech, and I love tech. It's kind of boiled dream type of stuff to me, but you also want to know that you're actually getting some use out of it as well, rather than just because you love tech. Anyway, let's put the ring to one side for now, and I'll show you the charging case that it comes with. So it has a built-in battery. It's wireless charging. I normally leave this on my wireless charging pad all day, so it's never a bother. But it's also got USB-C port on the back to charge it. It's got a 361 milliamp hour built-in battery. And the hinge is really nice. It's really solidly built. There's no play. It's snaps shut with a really satisfying feel. I'll just show you how the ring pops in there. So on the ring itself, it's got a little nub, a little ridge on there, which has two uses. There's two reasons why that's there. The first one is when you put the ring on your finger, the little nub has to go on the underside, and that's because the little ridge coincides with where the sensors are. So that's that. It allows you to locate the ring easily. The other one is the ring only fits in the charging case one way, like so. It won't go in any other way until you get that little ridge at the bottom, and then it just pops in. And then it lights up there to show you the status of the battery. Mine's full, so if I just do that again, pop that in, the light's full, so I've only just charged the ring for the purposes of the review. I take that out, and I press the little button on top. It'll tell you how much charge is actually left in the case itself. And if you hold that button for 3 seconds, that will put the case back into pairing mode, and you can pair the ring back up again if you need to, or a different ring for whatever reason. So no issues with the case. Very nice what they've done there. As for the ring itself, this is a size 10. It comes in various sizes from 5 to 13. This one is an 18 milliamp hour battery, and Samsung claim a 6-day battery life on this, and I'm happy to report that's the case. I have been getting a solid 6 days, and that's still the same now, even 8 months later. Sizes 5 to 7 have a 17 milliamp hour battery. Samsung claims 6 days again on them, and the size 12 to 13, given that it's a bigger ring, hosts a bigger battery, which is 22.5 milliamp hour, and they claim 7 days for that one. I've got no reason to doubt the claims on that now, considering this one has held up and there's been no degradation at all. So the battery, fantastic. It's waterproof, it's IP68, down to 10 atmospheres. I'm not going anywhere near 10 atmospheres, to be honest, but in terms of what I do, I wear it in the shower, I've been in the sea with it abroad and stuff like that. It's been totally fine, not an issue. Initially, when I bought the ring afterwards, I don't know if you're anything like me, but I buy the thing and then start reading reviews and reports on it for some reason. And I was reading quite a lot about damage to the coating here, that it was kind of wearing off really easily with not much activity. I haven't noticed that. The ring looks more or less brand new to me. I can't barely see a scratch on it. Maybe if I've got a microscope out or a magnifying glass, I might see some micro scratches, but believe me when I tell you, it's more or less brand new. And I wear this 24/7. Bear in mind, I do look after my gear. I don't particularly baby it per se, but I don't train in it. I go to the gym, I don't lift weights, I don't want the bars and kind of the knurling to damage the coating. It's pretty hard wearing as far as I can tell. Not an issue with that. And what about functions? Well, let's take a look at the apps. You've got two apps that kind of run alongside it. You've got the Samsung wearable app, which we'll take a look at first. When you open the app, you've got the battery percentage in there. You've got the various parameters, your energy score and heart rate, stress, sleep, etc. It's linked to your Samsung account. You've got health settings here. You've got a heart rate alert, so you can set an alert for a high heart rate or a low heart rate, and you can turn them off if it's something you don't want to use. You've got sleep. You can detect your blood oxygen. You've got snow detection. Snow detection, your phone has to be plugged in to charging overnight for it to activate. And you've also got skin temperature during sleeping. You can turn all those off if you wish. You've also got, if you're a lady, predict period with skin temp. Obviously I don't use that because I'm a bloke. To forecast your menstrual cycle. So if you're a lady, if it's something you want to get into, then the options are there. I can't say if it works, obviously, but if you're a lady and you've got one of these, please let me know. Does it actually work? I'd like to know. I'm very interested. You've got auto detect workouts. The ring itself can do two, which is walking and running. And what it does when you start walking, after a few minutes, it will detect that you're walking and it will start the timer going. At the moment, it's set to detect them on my watch. So if you're using this with a Samsung watch, this is the Watch 6 Classic. The watch will be the kind of primary driver in that for some reason. I'm not sure, maybe it's because the sensors on the watches are a bit more accurate because of the position that they're placed in. You've also got gestures here, double pinch gestures, and I'll just demonstrate that to you now. So you can either dismiss an alarm or take a picture or video. So we'll try it with the camera just so you can see that it actually works. So I've opened up the camera app here and I'll do a double pinch. Set that to portrait so you can hear it. And one more time. There you go. So, and it's quite accurate as well. It doesn't usually miss. I don't use it much, but if it's something you might use for dismissing an alarm. I don't use it for dismiss an alarm in the morning, because for me, to be honest, that'd be quite dangerous. You know, half open my eyes, double pinch, and I'd go back to sleep, you know. But for the taking the pictures, if you're in a group and you don't want someone behind the camera, you all want to get in the picture, then obviously that could be useful. And you can reset the ring here, ring software update, it's got about ring status. And the last one, and I've used this quite a few times, is Find My Ring. So you can blink the light. It'll give you an approximation of where the ring's located. But if you do lose it or misplace it, which I have done quite a few times in the flat, it'll blink the lights inside on the sensors. I hope you can see that. So what I'll have to do if I misplace it, I have to turn all the lights out in the flat, and they kind of hunt around and looking for these little lights flashing. And if it wasn't for that, I would have probably not seen the ring for months now, because I've done it quite a few times. I think I'll have one little niggle on that. I would have liked Samsung to put something audible, you know, like a tiny little speaker, which would have made locating the ring a lot easier if you do happen to misplace it. But the feature's there, and it has helped me out on more than one occasion, believe me. So that's the wearable app. Let's get off that, and then we'll go to the Samsung Health app. First thing I want to mention on this is energy score. So what it does is it gives you, every morning when you wake up, it gives you an energy score, a number out of 100, and that's based on the previous day's activities. You know, what your activity level was, how many steps, etc., and how well you slept that night. And I believe it uses an AI algorithm to determine the number the next morning. Now, initially, I was quite skeptical of this. You know, is it any good? Is a bit gimmicky? And what I thought was, so for instance, if it gives you a score in the morning, say 65, you look at the score when you wake up and think, oh God, you know, and then somehow subconsciously you'll start to act that out. Oh, I've got a low energy score, so therefore I'm tired, or I can't go to the gym, or I feel sleepy, or whatever, which I'm not sure if it could be a thing, but it is something to bear in mind. So what I did was kind of went the other way. So initially I started to wake up, check my energy score, and then started to think, hang on, is this affecting me somehow? Am I just relying on my energy score to dictate how I am energy-wise during that day. So I wouldn't look at the score after a while. I would get up, go about my normal daily business, and go to work, and maybe around 1 or 2 o'clock, then I would check the energy score, and it correlates. So if my energy score was around 90 and I checked it around 2, and I'm like, yeah, I have been feeling really good. Or if the energy score was lower, I think one day it was around 50 something, and I felt terrible that day. So it does work. Whatever algorithm you're using in there, it's effective. And it's allowed me to make small adjustments here and there in my routine. And those small adjustments have added up to me having a lot more energy during the day, sleeping better, etc. So I've found that really, really useful, which I didn't think it would initially. Another thing is if I have, say, and I am partial to a little whiskey now and again, just for medicinal purposes, you understand. And somehow it always knows that I've been drinking alcohol. It doesn't call me out directly and say, whoa, hang on a minute, you don't want to be drinking just before you go to bed. What it'll do in the morning, when it gives you the number, it'll give you, a kind of a written summary of what your previous day's activity was and what it recommends for that day. And what it'll say is something like, drinking alcohol before bed can affect your sleeping heart rate. So while it doesn't actually say you've been drinking and you shouldn't do it, it's kind of passively, aggressively, I suppose, letting you know that it knows. How it knows, I don't know. I can only assume it's something, like I said, to do with the variable heart rate, but very smart overall, living in the future, aren't we? And you've got your daily activity parameters here, you've got steps, activity levels, calories burnt in there. Show you that briefly. Steps. It'll tell you what floors you've done, active hours, exercise time, raised heart rate, activity time, calories burnt. Then you've got your all your different parameters and factors in the sleep. And what it'll also do is, along with tracking the amount of time you slept, is if you nap during the day, it'll add them on as well. Even if it's 10 minutes, it will detect it. And then you've got actual sleep time, deep sleep, REM sleep, restfulness, sleep latency. And it can break it down even further, telling you when you went to sleep and exactly what time you woke up. And if you want to look a bit more intricacy into all that, it also detects snoring. The phone has to be plugged in, has to be charging overnight for it to detect the snoring. That's one thing to note. You've got skin temperature, heart rate, respiratory rate. And then it'll give this one, which I've found useful for making small adjustments, is the bedtime guidance. So here it says, for more restorative sleep, try to go to bed between 10:40 and 11:10 tonight. And I've listened to it and it's been really helpful, I must say. Because I'm quite sceptical of these things. You do think, I don't, for some reason why, you just think it's maybe a little bit of a gimmick, but I can say with some confidence that I've found it very useful. You've also got your workout tracker there, the amount of time. You've also got some mindful exercises in there, meditation. You've got a mood check-in, breathing exercises. You also got body composition, your weight and your BMI. Also, you've got your step counter there as well. And you can set the number of target steps. You've got your heart tracker as well. You've got your min, your max, and it'll log all your average heart rates for all your previous days and months. You've got blood oxygen. You've got sleep coaching as well there, which I found really useful over 30 days. And then it'll provide you with like your sleep animal. You've got a lion or a penguin, a hedgehog. I always turn out to be the lion, so I must be getting it right. And then you've got kind of this stress kind of monitor here. One thing to note, if you are using it with the watch takes over. So if I do a measurement here in real time, the watch takes over, if you can see there, and does it. But it does work just as well with the ring on its own if you're not using the watch. You've also got a little bit here for tracking how much water, and it will remind you, through your phone, say it's time to drink some water. and then you can just add it. You can set the target of how much water you want to drink, and it's got the times of when you actually drink the water. I'm a bit rubbish with that, to be fair, but you may find that useful. And then you've also got the weekly reports here, your average energy score, average sleep time, average daily steps, and then you get these badges of milestones and step streaks and running, etc, etc. And then in the fitness part here in the app, you've got various workouts you can use. I don't tend to use these a lot. I've got my own kind of program I've followed for many years. I'm a PT, ex-PT, ex-competitive bodybuilder, so I don't tend to use these. But if you're just getting into, fitness, or you want to add to your current regime, there's all sorts in here: yoga, Pilates, HIIT, strength, recovery, all kinds of stuff really, and links to YouTube videos, CrossFit, and burn fat in 10 minutes, and things to mix it up a bit. This one I've not used together, it says, but apparently walk with your friends and people around the world as you build up your daily step count. I've never used it. You may use it. You may get some use out of it. I don't know. So what else have we got just before we wrap it up? I think that's covered everything actually. The main thing I tend to look at is the energy score, and that gives me various tips and ideas how to change little things here and there. Just, I'd say, like a course correction. Before you get quite badly off course, your sleep deteriorates. You can just make little corrections before you get too far off course. So for that reason, I found that really, really useful. I can't compare it with this main competitor, which is, I think, the Oura Ring, which I looked at before I bought that one. But I discounted that one because that is subscription based and the Galaxy Ring isn't. So what do I think of it? To be honest, I've loved it. I found it really useful. It kind of gets out of its own way. You don't notice it's there. It's very light. It doesn't tend to bother you or bug me or anything like that. And the reason that I wanted this, even though I'm putting aside the fact that I love tech, it's kind of a boyhood dream. And I've been waiting for this type of stuff all my life, is because I can't wear a watch in my sleep, and I wanted to start tracking sleep metrics. So when I saw the Ring come out, I thought that just could be the thing, and it turns out that it was, and it still is. So yes, absolutely, I would recommend it. Would I buy one? Yes, I'd say go for it. Bear in mind, as far as I've read, that the Ring 2 is possibly out next year, next spring, along with the next generation of S-series phones. So I don't know, you may want to hang on for that, but they're getting cheaper now, and I still think they'd be worth picking up. As for the next one, apparently they may be looking at making the Ring a little bit more flexible so it's comfier. I've not noticed the Ring's uncomfortable, so that's not an issue for me. I would like to maybe see the NFC chip put in the next one, so you can make the old contactless payments. That would really complete the deal, wouldn't it, if it had an NFC chip, and also, like I mentioned earlier, the little built-in speaker, so you can, or some sort of audible device, so you can locate the Ring when you've misplaced it. So there you go. That's the Samsung Galaxy Ring. If you found this video useful, please give me a thumbs up. If you like my content, consider subscribing. I'll see you there.